G'day, how you going? This here is a survival system that I've developed after many years of interest in the hobby. This isn't a complete bug out system. It's not to get you off the grid, not so you can disappear into the bush. This here, the shit hits the fan, you open this can. This here is to help you get the basics going. It's to aid in starting a fire, it's to aid in gathering some water, some navigational direction, and it's also there to help you signal for help and a little bit of shelter, provide you some warmth. So we're going to go through this tin, everything I've crammed into it. It's a 500ml survival tin. Before you get at me saying, oh, surely you could have put more things in it. 500 mils, okay. I challenge you, see what you can put in it. If you're an outdoors person, you're already well rehearsed in being out here, you've probably got all this stuff and it's probably scattered out throughout your backpack. That's fine. If you look at this and think, hell, I can do that too, do it. For those that want to just buy something off the shelf, order it. Chuck this in your four-wheel drive, chuck it in your side-by-side, chuck it wherever in your backpack. When the shit hits the fan, this may be the thing that helps you calm down, relax a little, gather your thoughts. It's on you, you know, to get yourself out of that situation, and this might be able to help. Everything in this tin I've used multiple times. Nearly everything in this tin you can use more than one way. Very versatile. The tin itself is a tin for a reason. We'll get into that later. So keep watching. We're about to explore this and we'll get back at you. Okay, so everything in this tin is basically in here and more, so let's get into it. So this is my first packing of this system. Obviously I'll refine it bit by bit as we go, but the tin itself is a 500ml paint tin. It's sealable. You've got a lid, you've got the tin. You've got 15 meters of paracord with 7 strands. The one thing I did add to this, which I 100% you're not going to be able to argue with me, is one thing that I've not found in a survival kit yet is a hand chainsaw. Okay, this is one that I've used quite a lot, extensively, and I will argue that this has more than 2 purposes. We'll compare that to, this is what you'll usually get in a survival kit. You'll get this silly little wire rope saw. I wouldn't even let my son play with it. They're useless. You can cut bits of wood the size of your finger. Something I can do with a knife. This guy here aids me in firewood collection, wet timber, not green, wet. I can cut it to manageable sizes, I can split it, and I can get that fire started. I can use it in shelter building, I can use it, oh, what can't you use a chainsaw for? I challenge you. And look, the size of it, it fits in this tin. Why wouldn't you? So throw these things in the garbage, don't use them, they're useless. This one here is everybody's got them in their survival kits, and with good reason. Mylar blanket, space blanket. For those that aren't familiar with these, they provide you warmth. You get cold, you wrap yourself up, they'll give you some warmth. If it's getting a bit wet out, you want to stay dry, poncho, chuck it on. If you want to collect some water, you can use it as a bush still. If you want to signal for help, you can use it for that as well. And there's going to be more videos demonstrating the visible capabilities of this from above. Maybe not in this video, but this blanket itself can be seen from a bloody long way up there. You got to have one of these. Every survival kit usually has one. I'm definitely going to include it. A signaling mirror, small one. We'll go into demonstrations later, but once again, bit of orange cord on it. Only good if you can find it, no good if it's hiding from you. A ferro rod with magnesium block for aid of lighting a fire. 100%. There's so many other flint systems out there, ferro rod systems out there. This is the cheapest one. It is the most capable. If you're in a situation where you want to get a fire started quickly and you only got one shot, you're going to run something like this. I don't care about the Gucci flash ones out there. Compare that in size to something like this. This here, yeah, great. It's got a fucker, it's got a whistle. You probably put a little bit of tinder down in there, but the size of it is great for a primary flint. If you had it, you'd use it. I'm going for something that can fit in this can, something that will guarantee you a fire when you need it. This was a very hard selection. In a survival situation, a fixed blade knife is paramount. That little knife there, it is quite small, yeah? Very small. Comes with a little sheath. I've added some orange cordage to it. Once again, that orange cordage has multiple strands in it, can be used, and it's got what we Australians call hoochie cord wrapped around the outside. I added that. Take that hoochie cord off and you get left with a fixed blade. We'll do that. For those that are sitting at home right now saying that little knife is no good for anything, not to mention it comes with a good little serving of more cordage. This little knife here, believe it or not, will get you out of more situations than you can imagine. You are only limited to to what you can imagine this knife is good for. I can split little logs with this knife. I can cut rope, carve things, skin an animal. I can prepare fish with it. I can split a log and slide this down inside it, lash it to it and use it as a hand spear. Okay, so you need something that's never going to fail you. This knife is not going to fail you. You can split logs twice the width of the blade with this knife, easily enough, start a fire. Also in this system here, I have included fishing hooks and fishing line. Okay, so I've got 3 long shank hook and 3 bait. The long shanks you can use in conjunction with your orange cordage and a few other things to make lures and flies. Once you get your bait fish, you can go down to your larger hooks and see how we go from there. Now, the Aussie thing that I've included are 2 tea bags. When you find yourself in a situation that you think you've lost a little bit of control over, sometimes just sitting back, chilling out for half an hour can make you a little bit clearer of mind. I'm not a tea drinker. However, you boil yourself some water in this cup here and you add one of these to it and you sit back and you contemplate your next action. Might give you a little bit of peace of mind, might calm you down a little bit so that you can make the next step and make the next decision. I'm also going to include beef cube and a chicken stock cube. They're small, you can cut them into quarters, boil some water and make yourself a little bit of a soup that's a little bit more palatable. Also, they can include salts and minerals. You're dehydrating, this can help you replenish some of those stocks that you've lost. Get to a point where you've gathered some food or you've got yourself something, you want to add a little bit more flavor to it, 100%. You sprinkle some of this stuff on whatever it is you're trying to swallow and you're swallowing it. 1 candle. Yeah, once you've started a fire, this helps you transfer that fire. You put it inside the tin, yourself in your mylar blanket, a little bit extra warmth, believe it or not. 1 little flame resonating off of a tin like this can provide you a lot of warmth. You might still be uncomfortable, but you might get your body core temperature up to a point where you survive another 12 hours. Not only is it good for waterproofing material, okay, you can use the wax to waterproof things. It's a comfort thing at night. You've got that valuable fire going and you want to transfer it somewhere. You light your candle, you drop it in your tin, you walk off to where you got to go and transfer that flame. Once you get a fire going, that fire might be the only one you've lit in a very long time. So let's make it a little bit more easy for you out there. Speaking of fire, that brings me to, there's lots of tinder options out there, but I often find the cheapest, most possible. Cotton wool, okay, these things go up, they take a spark like nothing. They don't burn extra long, but they can pack down to next to nothing and they take a spark, as I said before, perfectly. Anybody that can strike a flint will get a fire started with a cotton wool ball, okay? So add that cotton wool ball to your candles, okay, along with your flint, and you've got yourself, I'd almost say, a guaranteed source of fire, as long as your preparation is on point. Now, I've also included some matches, not waterproof, not windproof, just everyday ordinary matches. They come with a striker inside, not the whole box. I would recommend you use them as your last resort. Try to get a fire started using the tooling that you already have. Okay, these are when you are desperate and in need, and you not only that confidence boost you need to get, but you may need to get that warmth. We don't drink water in Australia unless you distill it or boil it. When you're in an emergency situation, I'm almost going to say your first priority is going to be water. Your first priority is almost going to be fire. Unless you find a running stream that you are 100% certain of, you don't want to risk dehydration or giardia. You're going to want to boil some water. And if you're in a salty environment, you're going to want to distill some water. And that brings me on to my next thing in this survival tin that I haven't seen before. I've done a few tests. This is the shortest length of hose that I can get in this tin and still guarantee you guys a level of desalination. I say a level because it's not 100% efficient. The longer you can get, the better. 100% agree with you. However, this is a survival kit with a difference. I am pushing the envelope, I'm pushing the friendship, what we can put in this tin to guarantee you a confidence boost, the tools you need in a survival situation. Boiling water is fine, 100% fresh water you can boil, right? And you can drink it straight away. Salt water, okay, you're not going to be able to drink it. And there's no other system out there that will remove the salt in a 500mm can. This will take some practice. I do recommend buying 2 of these kits, one to play with, one to pack away. However, use this lid, this little knife, poke a hole in the lid, just tight enough to put that line in. You use the cordage you've got to create a couple of little loops, and you keep that loop horizontal. You cool this loop with a bit of salt water, or you pull a neck scarf off your hat and you wet that and you wrap it up in it, and you put this side into a plastic bag inside of your t-shirt or a sock or something. This is a very thin plastic bag. It needs reinforcement. I'm going to provide other videos and demonstrations on how to make this system work. The thoughts that gone into this system have been proven already. This plastic bag is strong enough to put over tree material and collect condensation off of a live tree. You can use this plastic bag with a hole in the ground to make it bush still. You can use this plastic bag in conjunction with this line here and that tin to desalinate you some water. Be that whether you dig a hole in the beach sand and place this bag in the hole so it doesn't blow away and leave the sand for a bit of reinforcement. Right next to that you have a little fire going, big enough to bring half tin of water up to the boil. You run the steam through this line here, through a loop or 2 or 3. You keep that loop cool if you can. It's not the end of the world if you can't. The cooler you can keep this line, the better. Water will come out of it. And I have made a very basic video prior to this on my YouTube channel, how we can distill salt water. This survival kit, you've got it in your backpack. You've got the means of cutting wood, you've got the means of splitting wood, and you've got the means of lighting a fire. Everything included here. With the right mindset, you will get yourself a fire going and you will get yourself a drink. If you've got some fresh water going, you got to bring it to the boil and that's about it. So I've got a buff on me, I've got a t-shirt. Most people have got something else going on. Use a material like this over the lid, if you can, filter out the solids, get some water in this puppy, put it on the fire. I've got snare wire, okay, punch a couple little holes in the lid here, in the side here, make yourself a little loop, suspend it over the fire, bring the water to the boil, let the water cool, drink it. Bring the water to the boil, put your tea bag in, have a little drink. Bring the water to the boil, put your stock cube in there and make yourself a little soup. So yeah, we got snare wire in there. What else we got in there before I forget? There's so many things in here, guys, I keep forgetting. Direction. So we got yourself a little compass in here, okay? It depends on what situation you're in. If you need to know where you got to go and you've lost track of your bearings and it's an overcast day and you're panicking and you're spinning around in circles, you're spinning your wheels going nowhere, bust it open, get the compass out, put it on level ground, get an idea where north is and away you go. Knowing where you are, knowing where you're going is almost a second priority. It's not the highest priority. The highest priority is calming down, getting yourself a drink, getting yourself some calming down, getting yourself out of the weather that's changed, getting yourself out of the conditions that you currently find yourself into. Have a cup of tea, have a little think, okay? Have a cup of tea, have a little think, get your bearings, pack your stuff up, go to your next plan. Everyone would say, don't move from where you are. Most situations, you've come in mischief because your motorbike's broken down, your car's broken down, your friend's broken his leg hiking. You're already doing something and the shit hits the fan, yeah? So, in most situations, you'd hold fast, you'd stay where you are, you'd set yourself up, and hopefully, somebody knows you're out there and they're going to come and get you. Not many situations that you get yourself into, I would recommend getting out there on foot if you drove yourself in there. It's very misleading. You can drive for 30 minutes in a vehicle and think you're going to walk out of there. Yeah, maybe, but 30 minutes in a vehicle is a lot more than 30 minutes on foot, so keep that in mind. Anyhow, yes, there's a compass. As I mentioned before, fishing line, fishing hooks, a section of hacksaw blade, an additional striker, or you can use the speedy sharp included to sharpen up the back edge to make a secondary blade, a section of gaffer tape. This is flammable. It can also be used for primitive shoulders. It can be torn off into strips. That length there, 30 centimeters, 1 foot, can be split off into 5 different lengths. I'm not good at maths, you do the maths. There's a little bit more gaffer tape there, right? All right, guys, so this is pretty much everything you get in this 500mm survival tin. There's not a lot of gear here. It doesn't look very impressive unless you know what you're looking at, in my opinion. As I said before, this is not a bug out kit so you can go off the grid and disappear into the bush. This here is a system that should supplement or help you with skills you already have to make a task more achievable. If you already know how to light a fire with matches and you run out of matches, you can go on to the next step and light a fire with the ferro rod and magnesium. If you already know how to fish, we've got 7 strands internally in this paracord, some fishing line, some hook, orange cordage here for making flies, cotton wool for helping you make some flies, some tea bags to calm you down, some beef stock there and some chicken stock to give you a little bit more of a calm situation. We've got a compass to help you out and get some direction. Mylar blanket that'll help you stay warm and help you signal. clear hose to make a still. Probably things here that I haven't even thought of that you guys sitting there at home are looking at thinking how I could do that too. I put a fair bit of thought into this. There can be other options in the future. A 500ml kit, 1 litre kit. So the litre kit, I'm looking at an actual knife in there. I'm looking at a few extra things. But in this situation where you can fit this in your backpack, you don't even have to open it. Once you know what's in there, you leave it closed. Once I get a few things together, there'll be some Condy's crystals, some glucose tablets in there, and maybe some Puri tabs. Glucose and Condy's crystals aid in lighting fires. The Condy's crystals can also be used as a disinfectant in a first aid situation. Can also be used to clean up water, make it drinkable. One or two, couple of little crystals in this thing here pretty much kill anything. It gives it a slight purple tinge and it tastes a little different, but I've used it. However, this is what the kit contains. I thank you for watching this far. Not available just yet. Like and subscribe and hit the bell icon. Follow my YouTube channel, Can Aussie Outdoors. I'll keep you in the loop. There's a website coming. There's a whole heap of things that I'm working on in the background, not just a survival kit. Paul's Urban Outdoors and more is definitely going to become a thing, and this little survival kit will be the thing that starts us off. Something that I can achieve quite easily and something that you guys can get behind. Get 1 or 2 of them, put them in your kit, and hopefully we don't need it. But the day that someone does need it and they get out of there and they get to see their friends and family again, bloody oath, that would be sweet. Thanks for watching. Follow the channel, like and subscribe, share amongst your friends, hit the bell icon, I think, so you can get notifications. Once this is ready for the market and people are able to purchase it, I'll let you all know. If you want me to email you when it's ready, leave a comment and I'll reach out to you on the platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching, guys. There's more videos to come, demonstrations to work, so I'll leave it with you. Cheers.